Hello everyone and welcome to this little show of High Frontier 4 and the Module 3 in High Frontier 4, which was part of the Kickstarter this spring, but it's also a way of showing us all the final components for High Frontier 4, but it's not a complete show of these. We will focus on Module 3 and the gameplay of Module 3. My name is Jon Manker, and with me here are both designers of this game, which are Justin. Hello, Justin.
Hello.
And also Phil. Hello, Phil.
Hello, Jon.
And Phil is, of course, the master and father of the whole High Frontier series. And Justin is the designer of Module 3. Of Module 3, and he was also the designer of Module 0, which is part of the core rules of High Frontier. What we're looking at here is the layout or the setup of the game, and you see the complete map here. The game is shown in Tabletop Simulator. The components are imported are the actual ones. That is, so it's very accurate, but of course this is a digital representation, so it's with that caveat. In this game, which was a game we played we followed the rules completely, but we thought we're gonna show you a little ways into the game, because Module 3 features conflict and a potential war, and in Module 3 you have one war, and this war is triggered at a certain point and affects the game during a couple of turns. So now we have just reached that point, which...
Yes, we're in year 21 of the game when the war broke out.
Yes. And what's been going on here is that I produced a factory which was at let's see now,
The Martian factory in any case.
Yes, I went to Mars and I had a factory over there, exactly. I'm playing Norse astronauts having a dirt thruster, and I had a little tactics of trying to go there, but I'm regrouping now, and in my need to get another dirt thruster to my arsenal of things, which is that one over here, I traded this for a very good Robonaut, but I traded it with Justin. And so Justin, he instead got a Robonaut looking like that. Now it's
in
black.
other words, you perpetuated a trade with Justin to both of yours benefit, not realizing in the very next year that you would be at opposite sides on the war.
Exactly, because this Robonaut here turned out to be extremely valuable for him, because now he went to Mars as well, and he can build a factory at Mars, and now he can start producing this Robonaut on Mars. And Robonauts are very powerful weapons in this game, because they run around on the ground and can actually destroy things on the ground. Otherwise, it's hard to really destroy things in these wars. You just damage them. And so I'm after our very friendly trade, now all of a sudden he's a giant threat to me, because he went to Mars.
All right, I'd like to say something, and then go into my turn. On Justin's turn, he started the war by industrializing the second factory on Mars. Because 2 sea factories have been constructed, every time you move a token on the exploitation track, you roll a dice to see if war breaks out. And since we have 2 seniority discs that have been gone by, we happen to roll 1 dice, and subtracted 2 from that and compared it to the value of the stock price value in the C, because both factories involved are C. He rolled badly as far as peace is concerned, and so a war broke out at the end of Justin's turn. Now it comes into my turn, and I am doing, as player green, the very first war turn. I've just prospected an Olehato, a small asteroid in the Mars zone, and so on my turn, I went ahead and industrialized this M site. Now, I'd like to just mention briefly my options here. Now that we're at war, I happen to be an independent. So is Yoon. Justin on Mars is the only loyalist in this particular setup. So Yoon and I are at least nominally allied and allies, at least on paper. The situation is that I'm able to manufacture just about everything I need on here to be able to go out farther and try to make more factories. I don't have any weapons, however, on my rocket, but I am player green, so I should be able to either attack or defend myself with a fighting mirror, which is my special weapon for player green. If I need to, if I decided not to colonize, and so I have my crew along, if I needed to go back and for a refinery or something else like that to Leo, I would have had to pay credits because that's a wartime restriction. The wartime restriction means that I have to pay special wartime blood money, as it were, in order to do operations, especially as an independent. It's trying to gain independence from Earth. Things like boosting and selling black cards or gaining income or paying the programmers. These I all have to pay special blackmail money in order to be able to get those affected, including things that I need to make my next factory. However, I'm not going to worry about that because I managed to build an M factory and my hand has enough M stuff, metalliferous stuff, to be able to build a pretty good robonaut with its generator and a refinery. So my plan will be to try to avoid combat and act independently of Earth. So I've already adjusted in this game the exploitation track showing my M factory, and my only action was to industrialize. So next, Yoon, it's your turn.
Yes, so I tried to follow what you were saying there, and I showed everyone this placard where you can read a little bit about fighting, mirror, faction weapon, and also war restrictions. This is not final art, but this is the player, the extra player placard that is coming with the game, showing what's going on in Module 3. Phil talked about credits or special bribery money, and these are the 3s over here. You can see his 3, and everybody have 3 of them to use. Okay, so in my turn then, since I think Justin is a threat, I feel that he will attack me, and it's almost mandatory to attack if you're in the same location. I don't think it is when you're right next to each other. Correct, Phil?
That's correct.
That's correct.
If you have an enemy, and an enemy is defined as someone of the opposite block. You're a loyalist. He's an independent.
Yes.
For instance.
The other way around. I'm independent.
Yes, in this case, you're the independent. He's the loyalist. you have to attack. Now, you can do your operation first if you want, then attack. It's a free action, but attacking is. But you will have to do it in your turn since. Well, no, you don't have to do it in your turn because you're not co-located. You're only adjacent along a buggy road.
Yes. So just to show that that's me and that's him, and I have an outpost here, which means my rocket stuff has been decommissioned or used from building the factory here. He has a rocket here and some stuff. But my intention now is to take my buggy and go by this buggy trail over to him and attack him. Because I'm pretty sure he will do the same otherwise, and maybe I managed to strike things out for him. What is a weapon then? Well, anything. In this case, there are several weapons described, and you have special faction weapons, but I will use a buggy. And a buggy is actually something I have on my crew card. So my crew card, being this one, has a buggy up in the corner. And it also has a missile, which counts as a gun, but I will attack and use the buggy. And I think I can, if I defend, use both of them, but if I attack, I can only use the buggy, correct?
No, you can actually roll for each of your weapons in an attack.
Okay. So then I will attack him, and I will roll there with my buggies equipped with some kind of missile launchers, and then try to blast him off the surface of Mars.
Right. I can just see the Vikings bouncing along the Martian surface in their little little vehicle with their war hammers and battle axes.
Yeah.
Now, for me, unfortunately, all I have at my factory is, in my outpost rather, is a radiator, which cannot attack or defend. But if you look at the placard here, I do have, since I have a factory there, a factory has what's called a gun. So I can have some type of defense with my gun, and as the defender, I'm actually going to be the first to be able to fire. So Yoon, with his choice to attack me, is going to have to survive my first volley against him.
Yes.
Right. And just a little bit of fluff is that factories have guns because these are not actually intended to be martial in nature. These are repurposed coil guns intended to launch products off the surface of Mars, probably rocket planes, actually. They've been repurposed into defensive purposes now that war has broken out.
So now we'll see this repurposed coil gun in action, and there will be a RH, which stands for I'm now showing, so you know what I'm doing.
Rad hardness.
That's rad hardness, and the attacker rad hardness at the current state. The thing is you do is you roll 2d6 and reduce it from the rad hardness of the gun.
All right, let's see it. I want to see this gun shooting at the tanks that are approaching over the horizon.
Yes.
Okay, so Yoon, if you want to come over to the dice tower here, I'll just go ahead and roll the 2 dice.
Yes.
First, and then we'll discuss from there. Okay,
6
so
is
6.
a good start for
Oh,
me.
that's not good.
And
10.
a 4.
Yeah.
So now if we go back to the placard here, we can do our equation. So what is your rad hard on your attack cards?
So you rolled for the factory gun. The factory gun has a rad hard of 8. So 8 minus 10 is a negative number. That was some pretty poor shooting on the part of the defending loyalists. Now I want to see what the Vikings can do in their buggy.
Yeah. So now I'm gonna roll 2d6s, and I reduce my own ISRU, which, if I move to my side here, you can see is 4.
Yes, so 4. So you're going to, for your buggy attack, roll 2d6 subtract 4.
So I will shake this
This will
dice.
be your attack value.
Yeah, and my first die will be 2. Oh, I want to roll high here. Come on.
Yes, you want to roll high.
Come on, a 6, please. Yes. So that's 8.
8. Okay. So what we have here is because you attacked with a buggy and you got an 8, you're up against a manned site. So it looks like we have a destroy and a collateral.
No,
so you get to roll again.
Well, I rolled 8. Wait a minute. I rolled 8, but I should reduce my 4, right?
For ISRU.
Oh, yes, you rolled 8 and subtracted 4. Oh, so you only got a 4. So this is a damage and collateral.
Yes.
So the damage means we should put a little damage marker on the factory. And
I'll do that.
the big deal about a damaged factory is that its coil gun is taken out of action, so it no longer has its gun. It also can't do anything like being able to launch product into the air, but you're still able to produce things at a damaged factory. But you should roll 1d6 for your collateral roll to see.
So before you do that, did you place the damage on? You should place the damage on the map, right?
Yep.
Yeah, the map should show. You should put a busted disc, a red busted disc, to show that it's damaged.
Yeah.
Justin, do you have anything other than the anything there other than your factory? Is there any other cards?
There's a radiator in my outpost.
There's a radiator. And what's the rad hard of this radiator?
It is a 2.
2. So for your attack unit, you should roll 1 die, and if you roll a 2, your buggy ran over the radiator and crushed it or something.
Yeah. So anyway, I will do this roll. I was just going to ask you though, trying to find my way through these to show it at the same time. So yes, collateral. The effect was damage and collateral. So collateral is just 1d6. Alright, it's not. I thought it was 1 roll per. No, that's overload, which is 1 glitched roll per attacked value. So I rolled 1 die, and what I do want to roll now is
a 2.
A 2. Yes, because I can't hurt the factory anything more. So let's see
correct.
here. I will go to that screen and I will roll I shake this a little bit and then I will roll a 2 like this. Oh,
Oof.
no, I have to roll it again. No. All right, I failed.
All right. What's your operation, Yoon? What are you doing for your operation this turn?
Let's see now. So let's just recap here for a bit. I have a lot of cards in my hand, but since it's war, I'm not allowed to take anything into space, really. And I don't think I'm allowed to. Many things are restricted. But what I can do in this instance is I can just grab stuff from the market. Because it's in war times.
Yes, this is a war research grant. You can grab things from the top of the pile into your hand.
Yes.
No supports, of course.
What I might be interested in grabbing would be some kind of robonaut, preferably a C thing, so I can produce it out on my C factory.
Things, almost anything C might be useful.
Yes, but I don't have anything C, and if I look at my own...
There's no C cards at the top.
No. But if I look at my own thing, I actually have a sea sail, but I won't be able to sail away from Mars using that one really.
Yeah, you can produce that on Mars, but I don't think this is going to be very useful once his buggies start rolling in.
Yeah, and I also have 0 money at the moment, so I'm a little I'm in a spot here. But I will probably yeah.
You can still sell hand cards for money, even
Yeah,
during war.
yes, and probably I
Happy to give
should
you
sell something.
I'd be happy to give you a C generator for 2 of your credits.
Well, I don't have any credits.
You do have credits,
Oh,
Yoon.
2
You
of my
start with
credits? You
3.
mean, no, I do not think I will take your useless generator for... but alright, I will just to do something, I will sell my thruster. It gives me 3.
Yes.
Yes.
So I will
All right. I think,
sell my
Justin,
thruster.
that's your turn now.
Okay, so actually before my turn, we have an event. So I'll go ahead and roll for that.
All right. So let's roll for this event.
Since I'm the first player this time around. Okay, and that's going to be a solar flare. We're in the red season, and I rolled a 6, so I'll go ahead and roll for the solar flare strength.
Yes, you can roll for it, but everyone's on the ground at the moment, so
Yeah.
nobody's actually
Yep.
affected by it.
Correct. Okay, so for my turn, since Yoon so graciously attacked me, and we're each on the wrong side of the war. And looking at my war restrictions
Wait,
here.
one second though. I just
Yeah,
recall. Since I actually did damage to him, shouldn't I get some kind of reward for that?
This counts as a Medal of Honor to damage. This is a really good point. You are supposed to get a Medal of Honor.
Okay. Yeah, they're over here by the political assembly unit if you want to grab one out of the bag.
Yes. So I will.
So they're double-sided. The first side is worth 1 VP.
And you get a 2 VP Medal of Honor because you attacked a manned site.
There you go. They look like this.
And these
Currently,
medals of honor are important, not just for victory points, but they also determine when the war actually ends. Phil, if you want to maybe talk about that real quick.
Yes, because you gained a Medal of Honor, you get to flip over one of the propaganda chits, any one of your choice.
Well, I will flip over this Unity one, I think.
Now, I'm sorry, one of them's already flipped over. I think that's a mistake. I'm going to try to flip.
We did that for the seniority disc, I believe.
Oh, okay. If that was a seniority disc flip, then that's fine. Yeah, okay, so what do you want to flip, Yoon?
So I want to flip this one, and you can see I flipped one there. Now these are on the political assembly, and just so
they're independence. Independence is very close to winning the war. All I need to do is flip that last one, and the war is over with an independent victory.
And just so everybody knows, the game starts like this. So it's three independent and 3 loyalist. Every time a seniority disc is placed in the event chart, then that first player gets to choose the flip one, and I chose to flip authority, and now Yoon is flipping in unity. And just wanted to point that out.
And this also tells you that might be of interest. You don't need anything else than the core game to play Module 3, and that's why we're playing only using the core game. But in the core game you have Module 0, which is this political assembly, and you have to use that in order to play Module 3. But you don't need any other module.
We are not in this game playing with modules 1 and 2. We decided that before we started the game.
Yeah, but there are a lot of rules in the module 3 which applies to module 1 and 2. So they're adding interesting things to the game if you use them.
Now, so go ahead with your turn, Justin.
Sure. Okay, so since Yoon graciously attacked me, I think for my turn, I'm going to attack him with the card that he gave me. So I'm going to ET produce this Robonaut that happens to be a buggy and happens to be a C directly into my outpost as my operation. And
Nanobots. How cool is that?
and since this Robonaut requires no supports, I can use it right away because although Robonauts are the cards that you use to attack, they also have to be operational as well, which means any supports they require need
I thought you promised not to attack
to
me
be.
with a card in technology I gave you.
I don't remember this agreement, but I'm sort of reminded of a World War II situation at Stalingrad or wherever, whereby the Russians have a factory that the tanks are attacking one end of the factory, and Russian tanks are coming out of the other end of the factory and rush into battle at the far end of the factory.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna basically do what you did to me, and I'm going to simulate my Robonaut taking the yellow buggy road over to your factory and attacking, and we'll go through those course of events with you, of course, as the defender getting to fire first.
Yes, that's true. So, and maybe I should move to my screen actually, or I mean my board. So now I have what I'm defending. I have a factory here, and I also have a crew card. So let me just double check with you, Phil. I can use all the weapons I have.
With your defensive rolls, you get to attack with both. Um, so this is sort of a suicide attack here, but it could be that he would want to, instead of attacking with it, just sort of keep it by his factory to ward off your expected attacks. I don't know if that's a good idea or not, but or it may work out for him because this is a really powerful buggy. But the fact that you get two shots at him before he gets his single shot means that he's at a heavy disadvantage, I would say. Of course, even if he misses, he'll be able to produce one of these things every turn.
Yep.
But if his factory does get destroyed by one of your attacks, I don't know. This is a difficult tactical question, whether or not he should charge in immediately or play a more defensive game. I'll let him
Yes.
decide that. But you are going to be able to fire twice with
So I will
your
fire twice.
factory gun and with your buggy.
Yes,
I'm
and my
going all in
buggy.
with I'm going all in with my nanobot.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, excellent. So I will fire with my factory, which is a factory gun, and just to make sure, because we're explaining the game. So my crew has both a buggy and a gun, but it only gets to fire one of them as a defense, but two of them when I attack. Is that correct?
Every weapon you have can only fire once, either an attack or defense. And if you've got your crew that can fire, but your crew is your buggy. Okay, so you've got two weapons. You've got a factory gun and you've got your crew in their little buggy.
Yeah.
So you'll be able to fire twice, one with each of those.
Yes, but I'm on the buggy. I have both a gun and a missile, which is a gun in this case, for the ISRU 4, and I have a buggy with ISRU 4. So I choose one of those two weapons as my defense weapon.
If you've got a let me take a look at your I'm sorry, I need to take a look at your crew to see. Oh, you've got either a missile or a buggy. Now, the missile is not a gun. A missile could be used as a kamikaze, but only you won't be able to use the kamikaze in
You're already
this
on the ground.
particular case.
Okay.
You should be you should use your buggy, but in any case, you can only fire once with your crew.
Yes. So I will fire with my buggy, and I will fire with my coil gun from my factory. And in the first attack, let's take the coil gun first. I will roll 2d6s and subtract from rad hard of 8, which the factory gun is considered to have. And with my baggy attack, I will roll 2 more d6s, and this time I will subtract the ISRU of my buggy, which is 4. So moving to the dice tower, going for the first attack, where I want to have a rad hard of 8, and I roll a 1 and a 1, which is 6. So shall we look at that result first?
Yes, we can look at that result first.
So this means we should look in.
You are firing at an unmanned site target. So that's column E. And you are firing, what are you firing with?
The gun.
Your gun?
Yeah.
All right. So you need a 1 or higher to have a devastate or collateral. Collateral is not so interesting here. The devastate result would mean that you have a damage disk or loss of all FTs and place glitch. So the only real important thing is, because you can't damage a buggy, is that you manage to glitch his buggy with this gun. So he needs a glitch disk on it. Okay, what about your other attack? You're going to attack with your buggy?
Yes. So
So it's 2d6 minus your ISRU, which is 4. So roll 2d6 minus 4.
I rolled 4 and 6. That's 10. Minus 4 is 6.
Okay.
So again, this would be I am at the buggy here. I attack a unmanned site.
Yes.
And I get an action. So I get 6 in result. So I get capture. 3 plus is capture and collateral. Or collateral.
Okay. So capture is only relevant for a factory, but you can roll for the collateral. Roll 1d6, and if you roll his rad hardness, you manage to destroy it.
So I have a rad hardness of 5.
Right, so I need to roll a 5.
So I have a 15% chance of death.
Although I think it would be maybe cinematically much more fun if you actually can capture a buggy, but that's a different story.
You just want your card back.
Yes.
Ooh, look at that, close.
Now, it was close.
All right. So it's now Justin's turn. He has to roll, because attacking or defending is a glitch trigger. He has to roll 1d6 to make sure that he can attack because his buggy is glitched. So I'm gonna, Justin, I'll ask you to roll. Don't roll the 5, otherwise you'll have to decommission your buggy.
Okay, so just real quick, I'm gonna also move our event, which there is no event, but we're now in the blue season. But correct me if I'm wrong here. Since I'm is my, now that I'm starting my turn over again, is my buggy back at my factory, or is it still on his site? Because technically, if it's back at my factory, then I can remove the glitch token with my colony.
No, this is
so we're not. So the way I understand it was, you rolled out of your factory along the buggy road to attack his factory. He has a defense. He defended himself with his coil gun from his factory and with his other buggy that was at the factory. They managed to glitch you. So now it's your turn to attack for your turn against the factory. You've managed to get through all the defensive fire. First of all, because you got glitched in the attack, you have to make a glitch roll because every attack is a glitch trigger.
Got it. Sorry, I got confused when you said it was my turn. I'm doing other things here. Okay, so I rolled a 1.
So you survived that. Now I want you to roll for your attack, which is 2d6. This is a buggy against a manned site.
So 2 plus 1. And my ISRU is 1.
Okay, I'm sorry, what did you roll altogether?
He rolled 3.
He rolled 3?
Yes.
What? Are you even trying?
Apparently not.
All right.
So it's damage, man site, so it's damage collateral.
Yes, so go ahead and roll for your collateral because that could be significant.
Okay.
You damaged the factory, first of all.
Yep, so I'll go ahead and move a damage token over there.
Right.
Or actually, we can just copy the one that's on mine if you want to do that, Yoon, and I'll roll for the...
Yeah, I'll just watch you roll first.
Oh, sure. 1 again. I'm like really bad at rolling you.
You rolled a 1. Okay. So I don't think you managed to wipe out his crew. But you do get a Medal of Honor for this, and you do get to flip a propaganda chip.
Yep, and it should be a 2 VP since he has a man site there.
That is correct. This was a big advantage for you being the bold attacker. You only get Medals of Honor if you are the attacker.
Mm-hmm.
So which one of those do you want to flip?
Let's see here. I'm going to go ahead and flip authority back over.
All right. It's hard to say which one's good to flip, but a little bit later in war, a lot of these will have credits in them because when you pay your credits to do your stuff to get around the war limitations, those credits are going to go directly into the political assembly. And if you flip an ideology, the propaganda for an ideology, you're able to get whatever credits are stored there. And of course, these credits are super valuable in war.
Awesome. All right. So I think that concludes that initial engagement there, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yes.
And
you already did your operations, so we go to my turn.
Yes, but before we do so, is there anything we want to show on this about the other components in the game? I can highlight some of them. So starting with, I look at one of the other player boards here. So this is the new player board, playmat. It's called playmat with a fuel track and different places for where you put your cards and track the fuel consumption of your rocket. This is part of the core game. Of course, you have the map looking like that, and you have this is for module 1, which is terawatt and futures. We don't have these cards in this game, but they are over here, I believe. And then we also have a playmat for the module 2, looking like this, where you have places for two Bernals, and this module 2 adds Bernals to the game, which you can see down there, and which is also something you have. If I scroll over here, you can see components included. And
yeah, so I haven't been able to update the Bernal components.
Oh yeah, there's the old one.
Simulator yet, but we do have the rocket and the outpost markers, the dry and wet mass tokens, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And all the cards are 100% updated and everything. And there's a lot of other great features to this tabletop.
These counters here obviously won't be part of the game. This is going to be aquas, which are blue beads instead, which you use for your money.
Those counters are counting aqua.
Yeah, only used in here. And you see the rule books over here. I won't look into them much, but the game will contain a number of rule books. There will be, I think, 5 books in the core box, and then 1 book each for the Terawatt and Futures, colonizations, and also 1 for the module 3 if you have that one, conflict, another rule book.
Also, one final thing I'll point out is up in the upper right hand corner here. I also have the Read Me First book, and then I have the bags for all the components for Space Diamonds and for Race for Glory. So the entire core is in.
So the Race for Glory and that's introductory games, which is part of the core game, which you can play. And I don't think we.
Okay, well, that was a very exciting tank battle on Mars. I think that about wraps it up. Let's pause here.
Yes. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed it. Yes. Thank you, Phil and Justin.
Thanks.
Thanks.